So I've been asked to recall some of the issues at the founding of AChemS, which seems appropriate for such a celebration. Now, something very important happened in the history of AChemS during that period at NSF and NIH. And that is that after many years of increasing the funding for sensory systems at NSF and NIH, it came to a halt. That increase came to a halt at that time. But the effect of that halt in increasing funding was in a negative way, was worse on the chemical senses than it was on the other sensory systems. And the thought was, the reason for that was that the other sensory systems all had societies, like ARVO, to speak for everybody in that research group, whereas the chemical senses didn't have a society. So they were less able to lobby NSF and NIH for funding. So this expert group recommended that the chemosensory research group actually form a society. This expert committee also, as a final recommendation, commissioned me to investigate the possibility of getting a society and an annual meeting. Well, that's nice, but how do I investigate that possibility? What do I do? So when I came to the Gordon Conference, I was met not with the ho-hum attitude earlier, but this time with a great deal of enthusiasm. All those people in the photo were quite enthusiastic about it, about having an organization and a meeting. Now remember, there was no surety that this meeting would occur, yet the steering committee came up with a number of topics that they felt ought to be handled in the first meeting, and actually got chairpersons for those sessions, and got a number of presenters for meeting those topics, presenting their research. And so everybody gambled their time and energy to set all this up. I made even a financial gamble by using my credit card to guarantee the occupation of 100 rooms for 3 nights at the Hyatt House. We also needed to get some funding to run the meeting. All meetings need a certain amount of funding. So we quickly wrote a grant application to NSF and barely meeting their time requirements, and got from them a grant of $10,000. Well, $10,000 these days is just peanuts to run a meeting, but in 1979 was a little better than peanuts. It took care of a lot of things we had to pay for, but what it couldn't handle was have everybody have their travel to the meeting paid for by the grant. So we told people that they couldn't have much travel money to get to the meeting. And that scared us a great deal, because we felt maybe the meeting wouldn't occur if everybody dropped out because they didn't get funding. But again, we have to tip our hats to those people in that photo, because everybody came spending their own money to a large degree to get there, showing how much they felt that we should have a society and a meeting. And as you know, that meeting had great success, both scientifically and financially. We actually made a profit of $2,000. Now, in closing, I thank you very much again for allowing me to participate in your celebration of the meeting of AChemS. And I thank you even more for nurturing AChemS all these years. And I wish you the best success in continuing nurturing for many years to come.